Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
How
afternoon,
are you
sir.
doing today?
Doing good.
Good. I'm happy. What about the others too? What are others doing?
Sir, I'm okay.
Nice, thank you. All right. We are wrapping off our Unit 6 today, and if time permits us, we'll begin another unit, and we will continue as we go along. We need to discuss the end of Unit 6 test. I am marking end of Unit 4. I have not completed marking end of Unit 4. And without telling you how many papers I've marked so far, I have not been wowed. People are passing, but I'm not being wowed. I'm not saying I have not seen a paper yet to say, wow, very nice. But people are passing. All right. I don't want just passing. I want to be wowed. All right. So I will once I'm finished, I'll email you a copy of your math script so that you can go through. I have made comments on it, which is one of the reasons too it's going to take a little time because I'm commenting on each of those. And also the frequency with which we're going to be getting these tests. I'm going to ask for your leniency. But for those of you who made an error, or one of the things that I recognize too, is when you go into the exam and write off the wrong question, but the question that you wrote off, the incorrect question you wrote off, you did correctly. Don't expect to get full marks for it here. Expect to get 1 or 2 marks. And I'm only being lenient in giving 1 or 2 marks. 6, may not give you anything because you did not take the question off correctly. So just be very mindful of that. You write the question off. I've seen it in one case so far. You write the question off, make sure that you have taken out the correct stuff. Okay. So without any further ado, we were on to geometric progression, and we did one of those questions, and we got I think that was the last question. We did true or false. No, we did that one, and I was supposed to do. I didn't do part 3 of the question, right?
I did that. We ended at one. We got 31 and something.
Oh,
yeah, 340.
Right. So we got the sum to infinity correct. So thanks for reminding me. So we got the sum to infinity to be the same answer as the sum of the terms. Is that possible, sir? Yeah, man. It means that you don't have enough terms to give you a different set of answers. All right. So with that said, and you're supposed to remember where it is that we're at. I'm giving you this do now. Start for me, please. As soon as you're finished, let me know. Start for me, please.
Sir, I'm unable to see the question.
Okay. Can you see the question now?
Yes, sir, thank you.
No problem. Can you see it still?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Should be able to see it now.
Yes, sir, I can see it.
Mhm. Finish?
No, sir.
So Tyrick and Patrine, I'm going to be calling upon the pair of you for this question. Patrine and Terry, I'll be calling upon you. You don't know what question I'm going to ask. I'm not necessarily asking you the answers, but I'm going to be calling upon a pair of you. So make sure to have the questions completed, please. 2 more minutes. All right, Patrine, can you unmute for me, please? All right, good job. Now, what did the question ask you to find in the what do we do in calculating geometric progression? It says to find the sum of the first 10 terms. What information do we need in order to calculate the sum of the first 10 terms of that geometric progression?
The first term, the
Which is?
common ratio. The first term, the common ratio, and the number of terms.
And what's the first term?
2,
Number of terms?
10,
Common ratio?
half.
Excellent. And what is the sum of the first 10 terms, Patrine?
Have 3.996.
You have?
3.996.
3.996. All right. Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do for me, if you look at the progression is, all right. All right, I was going to tell you to try and leave it in the format that they gave you in terms of a fraction, but 3.996. Let us see if you're correct. 3.996. And I'm very proud of you, Siri. Keep up the hard work. Very good. Your answers were on point. Excellent. All right. Terry?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
So I'm gonna finish, you know.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. You can just answer my questions nonetheless. I won't answer for the answer. When I'm when I'm calculating the sum to infinity, what information do I need? Hmm?
The first term,
Okay.
the common ratio,
And it?
and
Is there anything else, Terry?
so what you said?
I'm asking you, is there anything else that you need in order to calculate the sum to infinity? Nikki, don't mute time. I'm coming back to you. Nikki, unmute for me, please.
Yes, sir.
What information do I need in order to calculate the sum to infinity?
The first term and the common ratio.
Do I need anything else?
The amount of things.
Okay.
The
Shante,
amount of numbers. I don't know why it's name, a collective name where you would have called me. It's something that little number the under the bottom.
Okay. Shante,
Yes, sir.
when I'm calculating the sum to infinity, what information do I need?
Sir, A and R.
Only?
Yes,
Do I need anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, Nikki, you hear that? Carrie, you hear that?
Yes, sir.
So when I'm calculating the sum to infinity, I only need A, the first term, and R, the common ratio. Nikki was saying that I need N. Shante, what would N be?
Sir, N will be the number of terms.
Yeah, but in this case, what is the value of N?
Oh, N is 10.
Okay. JBO, what's the value of N?
Sir,
What's the value of N, JBO?
sir.
Huh?
10. Mm.
You said 10, or you said 10, no. Okay. Kimoli, what's the value of N? Kimoli, what's the value of N? I like playing this game, I like playing this game. So let me tell you the game that I like playing. So now I call upon my lovely students to answer me. And I'm calling upon them 1, 2, 3 times and they don't answer me. I put them in the waiting room. I think I told you this from day one. Because since you're not here, I let you wait out into the waiting room.
Sir, one question.
Yes, please.
Sir, how do you know that R is a half?
Okay. Who was that?
Yeah, I thought it was
Gordon.
Oh, Tani. Okay, I still come to you, Tantan. I still come to you.
Sir,
Yes, Manisha.
is it infinity?
I don't know yet. I'm coming. Kimoli, unmute for me. I'm coming to you, Manisha. Kimoli, unmute for me, please. Final time before I put you in the waiting room. Kimoli, can you unmute for me, please? Okay. Manisha, can you go ahead and answer for me, please?
N is
Okay.
infinity.
And how do you know this, Manisha?
Sir, because it says sum to infinity and when you put S there, so it's N supposed to do it. I don't know, I'm just not saying infinity.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Terry. So you hear that the value of N is infinity?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Now, I'm picking up something from the marking of the papers. I come here on a Monday, Friday, well prepared for class. And some of you are sitting in the movie theater and just watching. No active participation. So I have to be calling you out. And when I call you out, that's the time when I call upon students, they disappear from my class. All right, so say, me get very strict now. When I call upon you students, it's not to embarrass you. Just like how I call upon another student and students say, sir, I don't know. That's why you're in class. But I just want to make sure that you are learning. So that's why I'm asking the question. Right? So I will deal with Miss Kimoli. And the friends of hers in the class, let her know that we will need to have a talk. And a very strong one too. Okay. All right, so yes. N is going to be infinity. And remember, when N gets large, R to the N goes to 0. From the sum formula, when N gets large, R, Tanila, remember your question, here I soon come to you. When N gets large, R to the N goes to 0. Sir, how is that possible? Remember, R, in order for you to find the sum to infinity, R must be able to converge, not diverge. When you have a divergent series, the series gets larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. When you have a series or a sequence that converges, it is going to converge at some point in time until it gets to 0. And that's how you calculate the sum to infinity. That's how you calculate the sum to infinity. So remember that R is fractional. That's the only way you can calculate the sum to infinity. It must converge, and it converges when R is a fraction. So since R is fractional, when you raise a fraction to a power, and as the power gets large, that fraction goes to 0. So the sum formula reduces to a over 1 minus r. The sum formula reduces to a over 1 minus r. All right? And of course, r is fractional, n is the sum to infinity, and a would be your first term. So the sum there to infinity will be 4. Did anybody get that?
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, go up right and do something, please.
Go back to who?
Screenshot it, please. To
You
the
want me
rec-
to recheck something?
No, me just want to screenshot it because I'm never
Oh,
there. Right.
oh, you want to screenshot something? What do you want me to, where? You want me to do this piece up here? Javier, what are you talking about? Which one, honey? I need to move on. Tell me which one.
Sir, when I send it in the class, or see.
I was going to suggest that too.
Yeah.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
isn't the formula r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1?
Mm-mm. 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 Not the sum to infinity. Are you talking about the sum? The sum formula?
Yes, sir.
That's a formula if r is greater than 1. But in this case, r was a half. So we use a formula, the formula that you quoted, we use that if r is greater than 1. But when we calculated r, like Tanin asked me how to calculate r, how we got half. When we calculate r and r is fractional, then we use the other formula. This one. R is greater than 1, we use this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tantan, your turn. Remember to calculate the common ratio. We take one term and divide it by the previous term. So 1/4 divided by 1/2 is a half. A half divided by 1 is a half. And 1 divided by 2 is a half. Double check that for me quickly, please.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Very nice.
Thank you.
No problem, honey. Okay. Find the number of terms in the sequence 5, 11, 17, ... 77. So that's another classwork for you. But let me just give you an idea because you can get a question like this on the exam paper. Now, what is this in AP or GP?
GP.
You have to check. You have to do your check to see what this is in. How do you check? You're going to take one term, divide it by the previous term, take another term, divide it by the previous term to see if you get the same value. If that does not work, then you're going to take one term, subtract it from the previous term, take another term, subtract it from the previous term to see if you get the same value. Whichever method works, you can just tell me whether or not it's AP or it's GP.
Yeah, it.
It's AP?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it is AP. Kimoni, can you unmute for me, please? It's Heslop. Can you unmute for me, please?
Hi, sir.
No, don't come hi, sir, my business. Why didn't
Yes,
you
sir.
why didn't you not respond to me when I called you earlier?
Sir, sir, sir,
I'm hearing
I'm
you.
going to the doctor's office and I'm trying to use it on my phone and the data is not working. So so it was in and out trying to connect.
Okay. All right, you can mute. Yes, I heard you. I heard you, Matthew, and I heard, oh Lord. I know I have 2 youth in the class, 3 youth in the class. Matter of fact, where's that other one? That Stuart guy. Is he here? What Stuart is he again? Okay. So I know I heard Matthew, and I know I heard somebody else. Don't know which female I heard. But yes, look at me now. 11 divided by 5 is 11 over 5. 17 divided by 11 is 17 over 11. 11 over 5 and 17 over 11 don't give me the same value. So I know it's not GP. I know it's not a geometric progression. So what I now need to do is to check to see if it is in AP. 11 minus 5 is 6. 17 minus 11 is 6. 23 minus 17 is 6. So I know it's in AP. Find the number of terms so we know in the sequence. So you know
Sir,
which.
you can go over how you find out if it's GP.
You tell me how sir told you a while ago you calculate a GP to see if something is in GP. Talk to me now.
Some never hear.
Okay, all right. So I'm saying to you, whenever you're calculating, whenever you're trying to find out if a sequence or series is in geometric progression, you are going to take one term and divide it by the term before that term. You selected any term and divide it by the previous term. So for example, I can't use 77. I can't use 77 because I don't know the previous term to 77. But I can use 23. 23 divided by 17 is not equal to 17 divided by 11, which is not equal to 11 divided by 5. So I know that this is not in geometric. Let me try arithmetic. 23 minus 17, 6. 17 minus 11, 6. 11 minus 5, 6. So I have a common difference. Can you follow that?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Good. Is there anyone in the class that is not too comfortable to decide whether or not a sequence or series is in geometric progression or arithmetic progression?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Say it again, Javier.
Sir, I don't know whether it's in a geometric or whatever the other side.
Okay, no problem. All right. Thanks for the question, honey. And you see, when I answer a question, don't think necessarily get annoyed in terms of answering it. Someone wanting to ask me the question. So thanks for asking that question. Monisha, unmute for me, please.
Sure.
All right. So Jada, so she's still not seeing what I'm talking about. Can you explain to the class for me how you find out a sequence or series in geometric or arithmetic progression?
To find out if it's in geometric progression, you take one term and divide it by the previous term, and you do that, and you realize, say, well, if it's in geometric progression, it would have a constant ratio. Like if you divide 17 by 11, you'd get 2. If you divide 23 by 17, you'd get 2 too. But in this case, it is not, because if you divide 23 by 17, you'd get a different term from 17 and 11 when you divide 17 by 11. To find out if it's in AP, you would take 11, for example, minus it by 5, you'll get 6. You'll take 17 minus 11, you'll get 6. So that's in sequence. Yeah, you get the same term each time you do it. So it would be in AP. Make sense?
Javier?
Mm-hmm.
Javier?
Sir, that makes sense.
Sorry, I don't hear that. Say it again.
Sir, it makes sense. It makes little sense.
It makes it make whole heap of sense, man, because she's right. And you see, she never understood it a while ago, you know, that's why I called upon her, just to make sure that she's understanding. And when I ask a question like that, it reinforces what it is that she's doing in class. So she's right. So let me just repeat what she said. And for those of you who are not following, this is your last chance to catch it. To find out whether a progression is arithmetic or geometric. For arithmetic, you take one term and subtract it from the previous term. You can't just be for one, you know, you have to be for at least two to make sure that you get the common. Remember the word common means it's the same something you get in. So when you check to see if a progression is arithmetic or geometric, take one term and subtract it from the previous term. Do that for at least two of them, or if you want, you can do for all of them, you should get the same value. If you don't get the same value, what you need to do now is to take one term and divide it by the previous term. Divide it by the previous term. Then you're going to take another term and divide it by the previous term. So remember, when you're checking to see if a progression is arithmetic or geometric, you can't just use one. You have to now compare. So when you're comparing something, you can't just compare one item. You have to compare two or more. All right? Okay. With that said, how many terms does this sequence have? Giving you 2 more minutes to figure it out. Not figure it out now. I want you to calculate it. Go ahead, please.
13.
13? Tell me how you got 13.
Because it's AP. So to find the rest of the terms, I added 6 each time. So I did 23 plus 6, and then the answer of that plus 6, and continue on until I reach 77.
Okay, then what if the question said 7,777? What would you do? Sit down and count out all of that, don't you, sir? Aha. Just tell me no, Patrice, please. Just say no, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, good. So I want you to calculate it. I don't want you to sit and figure it out. You may be correct, but I don't want you to figure it out. I want you to calculate it. 2 more minutes. All right. What's the answer? What's the calculated answer? Make Petrine go whole corner over there. So in the naughty corner. Petrine, you got the answer by the calculation method, no, honey? No? Yeah?
No, sir.
All right. Anybody got that answer by the calculation method? Matthew, unmute, please.
Sir, I'm almost done, sir. Give me one.
All right. One more minute, guys. Sorry, one more minute.
I don't know. Six. On to me now. I don't feel. Jesus, foolishness, my brother. Yo, move from my son.
Sir, I got it.
Sir, I got the answer.
Very nice. Very nice. What about the rest of you?
Sir, I got an answer.
Tatiana, come off my phone. Matter of fact, I'm interested to find out, Tatiana, what answer did you get?
13.
Sure. You just block this down. I think you're going to tell me one weird answer order so we can get for this. Sure. All right. You just cramp my style, Tatiana. Sure. Yes, please. Who is calling? Nikki, what are you calling me for? You don't get the answer, Nikki?
No, sir.
Listen, Nikki, you're not going to have it out. Hold on 1 minute, Nikki. I'll soon come back to you, hon. Yes, Natalia.
Sir,
Natalie,
I
sorry.
got,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, I got 13 as well.
Okay, all right.
I
Amelia?
got 13 also.
You got 13? Good. Amelia?
I'm trying to find.
Sir, I don't even know how to work it out.
And so,
Can't
yeah,
wait.
so let me ask you a question. So you never call upon you that sit down there like a cute, don't?
No.
Okay, so we need a plan to ask him the question, Amelia. You see, every
Sir,
time I
I'm
have
kind of look a bit behind, you know, so I'm not even really know.
Amelia, I'm going to
Yes,
take you
sir.
lunch money for the rest of the week. I make you have to drink porridge every day for this week.
I
Come
don't
on,
like
man.
so I don't
That's
drink
the
that.
point. Good. So that means you're going to die of hunger then. Good. I'm happy you don't like porridge. No, man. Look, many times I ask the question, Amelia, if you're not following, just say, sir, I'm not following in the mind, please.
Sir,
Yes, please.
I'm not following.
You're not following. All right.
Sir, I'm lost.
Green, you lost?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. That's what I want to hear. We want to know who following from who not following. Very good. Foxy, let me hear you. You're the last person I'm going to talk to, Foxy, and then I go through the stuff.
I get it.
You don't get it?
Sir, may I try?
All right, cool. All right, no problem. All right, and that's the spirit. That is the spirit. But just talk to me so that at least I can know what is happening with you guys. All right. Now the question says find the number of terms in the sequence. Now, we already established that we have an arithmetic progression and not a geometric. True or false?
True.
Good.
True.
Now, tell me the different variables we have for an arithmetic progression. We first have what?
Last term.
Last term, then?
First term.
Go then?
Difference.
Difference, and then? And then the number of terms, right?
Number of terms, yes, sir.
Good, good. But so we have 4 unknowns, which is what I want you to tell me. We have 4 unknowns. And of the 4 unknowns, let us check to see if we are given any 3 in the question. Now, and this is how I want you to reason out the question. So the question says, find the number of terms. Uh-oh, what is the number of terms denoted by again?
N minus
Very good.
1.
No, n alone, n alone. All right. So the number of terms is denoted n. So if we have and I normally use an acronym for it, you know. NAD, number of terms, the first term, the common difference, and of course I have my last term, right? So my last term is going to be equals to my NAD, my number of terms, my first term, and my common difference. So I have a first term. What is the first term?
5.
But do I have a common difference?
6.
Yes, sir.
Which is?
6.
Okay, good. Do I have a last term?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
77.
Very good. Then, sir, how do you know that 77 is the last term? Let me tell you. See the full stop right there, sir? It means that there's nothing else in that sequence. There's nothing else in that sequence. So you have 5, 11, 17, 23, dot, 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 dot. Those dot, dot, dot means that those things are missing. Those are missing. And after the missing ones, then you reach 77. All right? So we have a formulation that we can use. So the formulation here, the last term is going to be equal to the first term plus n minus 1 times d. This was the first formula I gave you for the arithmetic progression. The very first formula. Remember, arithmetic progression has only 2 formulas in it. The third formula is derived. So this is the first formula for AP, and then it has the A plus L. And if you want to derive the other one now, you're going to substitute this as your L into the formula to get 2A plus n minus 1 times D. So now, if my first term is 5, the number of terms is what it is that I'm trying to calculate. So it's going to be n minus 1, but my common difference is 6. And I also know what the last term is, 77. I'm just going to manipulate this now in order to get my answer. Manipulating should give me this. 6 times n is 6n, and 6 times -1 is -6. So I'm going to have 77, and I'm adding 6 to both sides. It's going to be plus 6. Well, what I did was to add a 5 to the -6 to give me -1. And this now becomes 77 plus 1 is equal to 6n. 78 is equal to 6, so n is equal to 13. So yes, Javier, n is equal to 13. But my question to you is, what if they give you 7,777? You can't sit down and calculate other than something that so you're going to have problems. So look at that one for me, please, and ask me any question surrounding that question. Are you following? Are you seeing? What is it? Talk to me. How it feels. Know that you see what happens. And if you never understand it before, it's not a problem. Those who catch it before, hooray. Matthew, I heard you saying that you're doing the wrong something. Are you okay now?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Nikki, how you stay?
Yes, I wrong formula number.
Okay. All right. Now, those of you who are still looking at that, sure, continue looking at it. I have another question that I am putting on the screen here. It says, find the 136th term of the arithmetic sequence whose first term is -12 and common difference is 1/3. Javier, unmute for me, please.
Yes, sir.
No, you see the point I'm making? 136. Who has time for that? For 4 marks or 5 marks? You don't have time to do that, Javier? Say no. No, me not have no time for that neither. So all right, let's just go with this now. So find the 136th term of the arithmetic sequence whose first term is -12 and common difference is 1/3. I'm giving you 4 or 5 minutes for this. I am doing this though before you start. I'm doing this though, guys, because I'm finished with the topic, you know. I'm just playing around and giving you some mix up stuff so you can know which is which and which is not which, and just concretize this topic because in another couple of minutes I should be moving on into another topic, depending on what time it is. If my activities go up until 8:30, I'll start the other topic on Friday. All be well. All right, start working, please. Obviously,
Finish, sir.
what you got for your answer?
33.
23?
33.
33?
Yes, sir.
That don't sound
So
correct.
that is what I get.
Sir, that
don't-
is what I get too.
I don't think that's correct. Oh man. Matthew, Manisha, Natty D, what you get?
So I get 33.
Oh, you got 33. Yeah, you did say that. Yeah. Well, I don't think that's correct, but let me just go through it for you.
Sir, why you do that?
I'm gonna get me.
Yes, I'm proud of you. Very nice. You guys are getting the gist of it. Very, very, very good. Now, is there someone in the class that is still not following what is happening right here? Talk up. It's still not following. What are you not following? Tell me what it is that you're not getting.
So I didn't get it correct, honestly. That's
You didn't get it correct. Okay, but I'm saying, where did you make the error? Look at what you have and tell me where you made the error.
the formula, sir.
Hmm?
Use the wrong formula.
Did it? Again? Huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, no, man, you have to remember. No, all right, let me help you out. Let me help you. The find 136 term of the arithmetic sequence whose first term is 12 and common differences is 1/3. The question asks us to find the last term. It's asking us to find the last term, but it is telling you how many terms in the something. And it is telling us that it has 136 terms. It tells you the common difference, and it tells you the first term. So what I'm saying to you is, when you get the question, write down what it is that you have, and write down what it is that you need to know. If you don't know which is which, you have 4 something. And this explanation goes for everybody. Arithmetic progression. You have 4 things. ADLN, NADL, LAND, right? So you can get land out of it, LAND, or you can get L is equals to NAD, or DAN, whichever one you want to call it, all right? Look, so there are 4 terms in all of this. Look to see which of them you have versus which of them you want. So I have my first term, which is -12. I have my common difference, which is 1/3, and I know the number of terms. How many terms are 136? And so it means that I need to find the last term, and then we'll go through the last term formula. So you have to be very mindful of that. All right, Cassie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And I said before, I don't want anybody to get despondent. I'm doing as many of these questions, and you will go through and just try and absorb what it is that I'm saying. It's really not difficult. Look at the formulas. Write the formulas out on flashcards. That's what I did when I was going to school. Me buy my flashcards, save my lunch money and buy my something them. Buy flashcards and hit up the topic. Arithmetic sequence and series. Unit 6, sequence and series. And the salient points that you need to remember. I write down something them. And I write down the formulations for unit 4, indices and logarithms. All of the laws them for indices and all of the laws them for logarithms. And I put on my flashcards to make sure that I know them. And I just pick a flashcard from random, and I should be able to know it. And when I finish, one of the things I'm going to tell you a secret. I remember when I was studying in high school, finishing off A levels, and I remember going. My sibling, my nearest sibling, was in high school, and when I used to sit up to study, my sibling used to sit up with me and say that they're keeping me company. And I said, okay, fine. And I capitalized on that. I'm going to tell you what I used to do. I used to write my flashcards, and I used to study them. And when my sibling decided that they're going to help me to study now, I just hand them all the flashcards, and they ask me the question from the flashcards. And I answer the question. So if I get it wrong, the sibling was able to correct me. Know what I'm saying to you? You may not have a sibling, but you can have your flashcards, you can have a neighbor, you can have a friend, whoever it is. You go to the flashcard and you use it as a tool for you and your friends. So you want to make flashcards and then on exchange flashcards. Well, it's COVID time now, but find ways, creative ways of doing it. Create a Zoom account and
There is actually an app where you can actually get a quiz on where you put in there.
same thing. And you can't. What is that app?
It just named flashcard.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I wish I were a student. I'm gonna look for that. Thanks, Manisha, for that flashcards. So teacher writing it down, right? Because I wish I was studying, going to school at such a time as this. I mean, nobody get where it is. And I'm not talking about the pandemic time, I'm talking about the access to information. When I was going to school, and your other lecturers too, some of them, no cellular phone, no information at the fingertip. We all have to go down now, come library, go looking at encyclopedia. Not even internet would it have. You understand? Real talk. And you guys have the information. I want you to use it. So, Manisha, I am going to look at the stuff and then we're going to see if we can come together and make some flashcards and we can have it. And we can just come to class. One of these nights, there's going to be no teaching. I'm going to come and say, Kimoli, answer this, that, and we just have a little school challenge. We could have Tariq and Matthew versus the girls. And of course, Tariq and Matthew will win all of you girls. And you'd have to prove me wrong. So it will be 2 against 20 enough. And we can just find creative ways of studying. So it is that those who are not following fully can get an opportunity to do the stuff. So, as I go along, I can give you some tips on how to do the stuff. You have your cell phones now. One way of doing it is that I know some of you have multiple SIM cards and you can send yourself WhatsApp messages. Read out the laws in a voice note and send it to your other phone. And then listen to the voice note. Instead of listening to the Boogie Yaga song, then listen to the voice note and listen to yourself talking about some stuff. Geometric progression, arithmetic progression, logarithms, exponents, and you talk to yourself. All right. So this is one of the things that we have to do in order to study, so it is that we can reap the success. Trust me, you will thank me later on. It does work because we learn from repetition, and which is why when I'm teaching, I repeat myself so often. All right, because we learn by repetition. Okay, very good. 33 is good. Natty D, unmute for me, please.
Sir?
You have not you, Donaldson, Natty D. You have to listen carefully.
Oh, sir. Yes, sir.
Natty D, you have weak heart. From last week, we're saying you're wrong, and you said, Jesus, Father, how am I get it wrong? But never mind. I like your energy, and I like what it is that you take to the classroom. And there are others too, that come to the class with seriousness, and I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to give you another question, but this one here has some levels of trick to it, and I don't think you'll be able to get the answer.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you agree with me, Natty D?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right, let's go. Let us see who can get this one quickly and accurately. Find 15, 20, 30, 30. Oh, yeah, man. Very nice. Always stay.
Yes, sir.
But here, I'm gonna finish this. What do you get for the answer?
23.99.
23.99. Anybody else?
Sir, I got something else.
What did you get?
3 over 4,096.
3 over 4,096.
So I think there's something like that, I guess.
So I got 24 now.
Number 24, okay.
I said 24, sir. I said 84.
Oh, 84. Okay. We can tell a little worse.
So yeah, 3/4, I'm getting it.
So I used something to check my answer and I got the same thing. Well, one of the formulas I gave us.
What was that? 3 point something?
23.99.
23.99. All right. That's what I got for my answer. Remember, it's geometry.
So I don't get, but my convert it to decimal.
So I can go back up a little bit more on the question because we can write up something wrong. I don't know if 15 come from. Same thing.
Sir, I get it wrong because we divide the half into the 12.
The half
Well,
is the
sir, I
common.
never use this formula.
Okay. So you have to be, this is the only formula you can use incidentally. So you have to look at the question, take a few minutes, just look at what sir did. And see how best you can get at it. Just take a few minutes. I'm not rushing. I really want you to get it tonight, so I will give up the class for this. Look at it. I give you 2-3 minutes.
There you're not facing any penalties for using decimal instead of fraction.
My preference is if you can write it in a fractional form, write it in a fractional form. If not, leave it in a decimal, because sometimes in the exam they will give it a fractional form. Like if you get this as a multiple choice, they'll ask you the fractional form. But I want you to be very versed at doing both. So I wouldn't mark it wrong. I just want you to be versed at using both.
There's a wire 2 to 14.
I raised 2 to the 14. We're talking about right here, so?
Okay.
No, because maybe no. Okay, you understand this part?
Okay.
And this part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 raised to the 14 points, how much? So 1. Come on.
Yeah, go back to English. Yes, sir. There's something different in there.
Yeah. So let me just say it again now. So normally I started the indices and logarithms. You know why? Because it forms the basis of many of the other areas that are going to be coming. It forms the basis for many of the other areas to come. So you have to be very versatile. All right. Another 2 minutes, and then let me see if I can jump up and give you another question. Obviously. Good luck, guys. Talk to me. Obviously, are we better know at it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Final,
sir.
final. I think this is a final one. On this piece here. All right, start that one for me, please. I'll be very disappointed to know that there are students in the class who are not actually attempting the question on your own and just waiting for me to put the answer there. I'll be very disappointed if that happens. Finish? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about the others? Hear you? Congrats. What about the others? Matthew, Terry. Where's that Stewart person? Ricardo, come, start working. All right, what about the rest of you now? Hello, somebody.
Finish, sir.
Cool.
So I'm still trying.
Nice. All right. Let me project this. And, are we okay with the common ratio to be a half? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Equally comfortable with the first term to be equals to 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, hold on this side. Go back up to the part No
Upon?
matter the second part. Only right, sir.
You just substitute. I put it in the first equation. And then in order for me to get it, I'm multiplying, in order to get rid of the fraction, I'm multiplying both sides of the equation by 2. So I'm going to get A is equals to 2.
See.
So can I go to the first one first, please?
It's a simultaneous solution.
Okay.
As we did, as we did the last class.
Sir. When we put in, when we test if there's something right, we take the half and put it back in the equation, a different answer we get.
Which equation I put it in?
We get R to be a half, and we say we put it in back in the equation. And
which of them? There are two equations, Matthias. I'm asking you which of them, Papa.
One is the 1/8, but just I realized that fools is not chat, so I never find out what was the first term.
Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm thanking you, Lord, for reminding me this. All right, so I got a message today from Mrs. Williams to say she spoke with exams and only 60 students in total have paid for their exam fees. Only 60 students in total would have paid their exams and the deadline has passed. What I'm going to ask you to do for me, I won't ask you to broadcast the business in a class like this, but I'm going to request that each of you send me a direct message to let me know whether you have paid, whether or not you have paid your exam fees. So I can make a record of it, please, and pass on the information. We don't want you guys to be disenfranchised. So while you work, just send me a message. Paid, and this is what I want. Not just pay, but pay and hand over receipt. If you pay and submit all the documentation to exams, you can just say fully registered. If you have not yet paid, or if you pay and don't hand over to the exams yet, you're not registered. So I need to just get an idea. So please just direct message me in the chat here to let me know if you have done so. I'm taking a record of it. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, please.
where to be messaging you on Zoom?
You mind message me on Zoom, please? Yeah, because I'm actually writing the names now as I'm speaking to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There are 18 students that have responded to me just now positively to say that they do the stuff. What about the others? The rest of you need to have a conversation, please. A conversation urgently. All right. So I had a difficulty getting there was a delay in receiving the recordings. I didn't see pop-ups. I'd have to go back now and search. I know nothing was sent for none of my groups last week because I had a difficulty seeing the populated we call it, recordings. So it's for me to go back. I'm very aware of it. So it's for me to go back now and search to see. And if I don't find it, I'd have to ask him to send them to me. So I apologize for the delay in that regard. All right. So Matthew, you see it now, Papa? The A equals 2. Were you able to?
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right. So thanks for those of you who there were 18 accounted, and I have about 29 of you in the class. So there are 11 students who have not responded in the affirmative, and we need to have a conversation soonest. All righty. Are we okay with this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ricardo, were you the one who just answered, or was Tariq?
Tariq.
Okay. All right. I am going to give you a question that I never gave you last class. I never gave you the question last class. And here goes. Matter of fact, I had made a correction to that one. I never gave you this one, right?
No.
All right, so I have two more to give you. This one and the other one. I think I'd given you this one here when I had made a mistake in doing the addition, or was this one I was? No. I had given it. This is the one I had made the error with, I think.
Yes, sir, that one.
Right. So all right. So start with this one for me, please. Oh, come on. All right, we're gonna do the question in pieces. So I want you to do the common difference. I have the question in pieces. So the 18th term, determine the common difference. Do that for me and let me know when you finish it, please. Anybody finish with the common difference?
Yes, sir.
What's the
Yes,
answer?
sir.
Two.
Right, 2.
That's what you got?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Let me just pause and just say something here because there are a few of you who are right where you're supposed to be. You are on top of things. Congratulations. This is how one learns. This is how one prepares for an exam. You don't wait until outside of class to understand. You try and give me your 100% to understand what is happening in class. I give you classwork. You're completing the classwork. Excellent. I'm very, very proud of you. Those of you who are trying and not getting the correct answer, I'm still proud of you because at least you're giving an attempt. But is it true me, you know, say me I teach long time? I mean, no, say true me now soon and I book someone and now do nothing. Those of you I'm disappointed in. I'm very disappointed in those of you who are not even trying. At least try. So congratulations. Really, 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 very proud of you. When I say really proud of you, really proud of you. All right. The next part of the question now is to calculate the sum of the first 10 terms. I give you 2 minutes to do that one. What's the answer? What's the answer? What's the answer?
190.
190.
Very nice. Excellent. Wow. Final question for the night, and then and after this, we're finished totally with sequence and series. Finish with it. And then I will just introduce to you the other topic for Friday. Just a quick introduction. All right, you have one other question. I give you about, I give you 10 minutes. Very nice. Always there. We're all right?
Yes, sir.
Finish now?
Sir, could I be start from?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's the first term? What's the first term?
Sir,
Five.
4.
Anybody else got 4?
5 me get.
5? What else?
5, sir.
Sir, 5.
All right. So
5.
we hear 4 or 5. You got. All right. I got 5. And the common difference there is -1. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the sum -90? No?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And it says part 3 says what? Right on the first 10 terms of the series. Let me switch these around. We got these as a 10 terms.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice. That ends our APGP and binomial. Very nice. We've successfully completed 2 units of the module 1, Foundations of Mathematics, and it's now 16 past. In about 10 minutes, I was going to work through just one question with you. Just work a little one question. I'm not even going to project any notes. I'm just going to work a little one question. Any questions as it relates to this one here? This is the end of this unit now, guys. The end of this unit. Prepare yourself, start preparing yourself now for the end of unit test. This is it. This is it. This is it.
Sir, so the topic that we're going to go on will be the
We did what?
topic for the rest of the term.
Now follow you.
Mia said if this is gonna be the last topic or the other one we're gonna go on now, are gonna be the last topic we're gonna get to the exam January.
Oh, I'll let you know. But yeah, I mean, based on what we're gonna go up until we're gonna go up to the 17th of December. Let me just check something here. Still have the third. Rockstone, this is what I see. Not Christmas enough, but our next class is going to be the 3rd of December. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 5 classes left at 3 hours, 15 hours. I should be able to finish. Oh Lord, let us see what will happen now. Let us see what will happen. All right. Are there any questions related to this? What I can say to you, I say is, okay, let me just be transparent with you guys. So you know that there's another group of the integrated math. I had a chat with the lecturer last week, and where we started is not where they started. What we have already completed, they have not yet completed it. What they have completed, we have not yet done. Those areas that they would have done are some very small areas. I am doing the larger topics in the unit. So I've completed 2 of the longest topics in the unit. So I think we're in a good stead. The other units have maybe like 2 or 3 areas to look at. So this this one that I'm looking at here now, will be the third of, I think there are like I think there are like 5 long areas. So pretty much I started at the bottom of the unit 1, of the module 1, sorry, and then the top 3 units that they have completed are pretty simple stuff. I mean, they're not going to take me a week to complete, so I'm not worried about that. All right.
Sorry, can you go down on the screen, please?
You want to see something? Weirdo, because this is not the end of that's geometric, you know. You want to see something geometric, or you want to see the question that we just did? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If I go down on the paper, you know, this is geometric. I never gave you these 2 questions. I had moved on to.
I didn't really get to know.
Okay. What you didn't get? This last question I gave you? Talk to me now.
It's just that when I read the 5 divided by 5 and 5, and when I forgot about the a plus n negative, take away 1d, to put in that in there.
Oh, you forgot to do that? You got d to be -1?
No, sir, me I tell you, I forgot to put in the formula a plus n, take away 1d, to end up get the result -1. But this incorrect, everything else.
All right, so hold on. So Cassandra, I just want to find out exactly where you mess up. So that means your 2 equations here that you started off with was incorrect. That's what you're saying?
Those 2 things up there was correct. It's just that I had a negative 5d over negative 5d equals negative 9 over 5d. I did not put in the formula a plus n take away 1.
No, but as I'm saying, why I ask the question, Cassandra? Because this formula here was to use to get these 2 equations. That's what I'm saying. So those formulas was used to get those 2 equations. So it has nothing to do with the other parts of the question, if you see what I'm saying. Hello?
Tell me, I listen.
No, but I mean, so respond to me, no man. If you make me know, say you didn't know. What I'm saying to you is, let's just look at the question. In an AP, the 8th term is -2. The 8th term says going to be 8 minus 1, which is 7. So you know, a plus 7d is equal to -2. See here? A plus 7d equals -2. So I'm recalling this for you to show you that's what we use to do the stuff. All right? And then it says, and the 13th term is -7. The 13th term is going to be 13 minus 1, which is 12. So a plus 12d, see here? A plus 12d is going to be equal to -7. So this recall was used to derive these 2 formulas. Used to derive those 2 formulas, and then we're solving simultaneously. Solving simultaneously. Solving simultaneously, and we're going to be subtracting 1 from 2. We're subtracting 1 from 2. Subtracting 1 from 2. And then it's 2 minus 1. It's a minus a, 0, 12d minus 7d is going to be 5d. -7 minus 2 is going to be -5. When I say subtract 1 from 2, it means that I'm saying 2 minus 1. All right? And then I'm dividing both sides by 5. So I'm going to get 5d over 5 is equal to -5 over 5. Those 5's cancel, so I have d left. And then it's going to be -5 over 5, which is equal to -1. And then I'm going to put D equals -1. Put D equals -1 into.
Sir, if you put it in an equation too, it's supposed to get the same thing.
Absolutely. Try it. You try to
We
do
never get the
equation 2.
same thing.
No, man, you have to get the same thing. I'm going to ask you. I have to get the same
But
thing.
that me did one is not that me never get the same thing.
Try it, no, man. Just
Sir,
try it.
that
Man.
me did.
Me say if you try this something, it must work. That's what I say. Try. Yeah, argue with me until I say you try it. But me I tell you try it again. It will work, man. It will work. When I say try it, you know, I mean some more. You try it one more time.
Sir, it's 10 again.
I'm gonna take your lunch money. And immediately can get the same answer. I'm gonna take your lunch money. All right, let's go. 12, and this is equal to -7. All right, so so 12 times -1 is going to be -12.
Sir, never mind. Never
No.
mind.
You're not gonna cut my story short. Crazy. You don't tell me a while ago say copy. I'm happy to say see still there, you know. I'm really very happy to say see, but me go finish the work me do because Mr.
Sir, I never that me write 2 instead of 7. That's why.
You know what? You're nothing from you. -7 plus 12 is +12 over here. So you know what? You're nothing. We're gonna do this something together. And oh, come on now. Delete. Oh Lord Jesus. I know I shouldn't have. It's what I tell you, say don't nobody argue me, just do the something. Because I know a mistake you make, you know. But I know it's a mistake you make, man. Yes. And easy to survive. All right. So you see, so whichever way we do it, we should get the same thing. So A is going to be equals to 5, whichever of the equations that we substituted in. All right. I'm not going to push it. It's 27 past. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the afternoon, evening, night. Sleep tight. Get up in the morning.
Yeah, that's a message.
No, let me see. Let me respond.
Sir, I was asking about the
Who is this?
if the
Foxy?
yes, sir. If the lady did come back to you about the community service thing that they said was supposed to do.
No, let me just don't move, please. Let me just send her a message in the class now that you remind me, because she has not come back to me. So let me just send her a message now. Hold on.
Yes, something like that, sir.
Say it again.
Community service. What are you talking about?
Sure. You know, come to class. You know, come at the people meeting, you know.
Yeah, I never hear that unless I just sleep one time, but I not hear that, sir.
Oh my Lord, I didn't even see this message.
Sorry?
Sorry. What am I looking for? Oh. Please be reminded to check on my case students kind of community service. Alright. Okay, message sent. So as soon as she responds, I will definitely send something out into the group. Thanks, Shan. I saw the message, but wanted to wait until the end to respond. So thanks for the reminder. All right, guys. Every blessing. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Good night.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
I say.
Good night.